Yeah, okay. Now we can officially start the meeting and nice to see you again. It looked yesterday when I was looking into today, oh my gosh, but when we met so long time ago, what has happened in all this time? It's true, it's 1 month, and soon we will meet in Vienna. We know Valentina cannot join this morning, and maybe we can start with a check-in. How are we now before going into the details of what is to happen today? So I can start for the check-in. Hmm. I don't know if it was the change into the legal hour summertime, but waking up in the morning in the last days is so demanding. And really, in the evening, I have no eagerness to go to bed. I'm awake. It takes a long time to get asleep. But during the day, I have good energy. So, and it's a period with a lot of ideas. So I have to contain myself somehow, not to produce too many ideas. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to our meeting in person next week. Happy to be really to going into the content after this preparation time. Thank you. And I pass it to Anna.
So I also have a lot of things going on actually, and also um, I resonate with what you're saying that in the evening I cannot really sleep so easily, and uh, and also my kids they have a lot of dreams during the night, and but tonight like my daughter was ill as well, but they are quite agitated as well, so is still yeah, it's a dense period, but during the day I have also a lot of energy, and so this is great. The weather is super nice here. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to Paris. To Paris. Actually, I know I have to tell you this as well. That this month I'm coming to Vienna, and then I'm also going to Paris. And this I'm super looking for as well because it's a meeting of the Presencing Institute between generative scribing. So it's something really that I'm looking forward to do it because will inform also more my work that I will do with you and is social presence in theater, so this technique of embody together with drawing, so together with visualizing. And it's the first time that they are putting these two things together after I was like really looking forward this to happen. And so I decided, yeah, I need to be there. So in 1 month I will be away 2 times. And this is also incredible, but I'm super looking forward also to meet other people that are doing similar things that I'm doing. Yeah, and yeah, so I have these two. April is a super exciting month, and I will pass into to York and into York.
The microphone is muted.
Stumm geschaltet. Okay, so here we are with sound. Yeah, it's just a lot, I can say, and just coincident of all kind of things. And then I would say it's mainly our housing and living project here that's taking the main energy. And like right now, it's the roof is made new and everything is in chaos of people working here on the house, and we have to finish certain things or want to before having friends around 1st of May here for annual meeting. And we have to clear out our old house now in parts also till the end of the month. So besides doing seminars and having therapy, hours running and whatever all the regular professional obligations are. So that alone is a lot. So actually, I have to admit, I'm not purely looking forward to Vienna, but it's coming in a time I wouldn't need it at all because we have to finish the clearing up and then have to do that right after Vienna. Have to be present here and so on. But here we go. So it's beside it's good weather, although too cold, but we do not want to miss the whole gardening season. So whenever that will take place, I don't know. My daughter is highly pregnant and expecting in April, so in this month. So that's another topic
That's a lot
around.
of things.
Yeah, that is a lot of things, and alongside with the 2-year-old, where she is less able to carry around or be bonding so tightly. So we also have grandparent duties in trying to take care as long as the little one is allowing us. So yeah, it is a lot. That's one way.
So that means that you were able to sell your house, the old house.
Yeah, that I mean, the money is not here yet, but it's all through the official papers and stuff, and we have certain limits to clear it finally, and have been there a couple of times and will need some more. Yeah, like this Saturday, I'm along with my daughter and two big trailers, and today Andrea is there sorting things. So it's another chore that we expected, but now it's all in once. Coming in all at one time or in 1 month. So I guess we're happy once we manage to be hosts for our annual study or university meeting of our study group. And then it's like 4th of May and things should slow down. Besides the gardening that will take up. Yeah, that's the check-in, and I hand it on to Sarah.
Thank you. So personally, today I'm feeling very in the blue system, very performing, and I'm not so happy because it feels also like that I can't settle down. So just observing that. Because I was trying to finalize a monitoring system for this project before the meeting started. So I was like, I have to do it, I have to finish. And then beyond that, I had a really busy last week in terms of work. I was working on a really interesting project actually, and many new opportunities opened up in terms of organization that wants to work with us. And we also had the evaluation of a project, which is a huge project we are partner of, and it will start in April, but the activities will start in October. And it's a huge project about energetic transition, and we are in charge of taking care of participation of communities. So I'm saying that because this is also for my cooperative is kind of upgrading it somehow, because a lot of money will come in. We will need to hire new people, which is exciting, also a little bit scary, also in terms of I want to be very intentional in how I design my job and my task. I don't want to be doing coordination, HR management, operational, everything. I want to be intentional and really focus on what is that I do well. So what it starts, where does it start and where does it end, my tasks and my job. And I'm also very excited about Vienna. I must say that I'm more excited about the social side, to be in a big city and hang out rather than working. Even if so please let's schedule something not too workable. But I'm also happy about, diving deep into the topics and meeting these people that they seem to be really interesting people to meet and to work with.
Okay, so thank you, Sarah, because yesterday I was just discussing with Peter, okay, where can we go for dinner on Saturday evening for us? Everybody arriving. Peter is also away, is also arriving around 6 o'clock. So around 6 o'clock, everybody will arrive and balancing, oh, maybe people is tired, maybe we do something at home, I don't know, cozy. That means I have to cook, so maybe it's not the best idea. Or going somewhere and where, yeah. So I don't know. If you have wishes and preferences, send it to me. I mean, we don't share it now, but send it to me. So that's also possible, yeah. Okay, so thank you. And yeah. Maybe Jörg, just one thing then that we can discuss, the two of us, about your going back, or maybe we can say it now, because Anna and Sarah have the flight in the evening. So we finish more or less the meeting. Your flight is at 6, yeah, Anna? Yes, more or less.
Yes.
So we have to finish more or less at 4, and you book the ticket for the day after. Maybe if you want to check if there is a ticket around 4, a possibility for you to go back earlier. That means you gain 1 day, yeah? In this time, it's very precious. Or if you have so many things to do in the train, it stays like that, I don't know. But please consider this as an option, and we will have an additional ticket, yeah? That's not a problem.
So it would be from 4 o'clock on the
Yeah,
train.
yeah, 4:30, something like that. Yeah, so that we can, and I think we can be very efficient.
Okay, so I will check how that works, or it would be additional costs, but I can also cover
No,
them.
that's okay. We can take this into the budget. Yeah, and maybe just one other information about the presence. Madara, this expert on gender that we invited, she wrote me yesterday that the grandmother died, and the funeral will be exactly on the 12th of April, so she's not able to come. So, okay, now I need to restructure logistically all this, but it's okay. I'm trying to see if we can invite another person, but I don't know, with such a short notice, and then it's the beginning also of the Easter holidays here in Vienna, I don't know. But yeah, just for you to know that unfortunately she will not be present, but I will meet with her next week online for 1 hour just to see if she has some material that could be relevant for us, so to have it for the meeting, or for us afterwards to take into account.
Just to tell you that also Vale is also joining from the car, so she will join this meeting.
Now or okay.
No. Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, so having said so, we can move into the agenda of today, which has two main topics. One is to look at the agenda of the expert meeting and to look at the flow that myself and Sarah prepared, and as we are also in charge of facilitating the meeting, and to look at the dissemination plan at the end impact. Yeah. So I would suggest that maybe we start with the expert meeting, so it's done, or you prefer to go back, Sarah? What do you prefer?
No, I prefer to start from the expert meeting agenda.
Okay. So in the agenda for today, you have the link to the expert meeting agenda. I can copy it now also in the chat here for you.
I have it.
Okay, you did it. Perfect. Thank you. Okay.
Shall I
Oh,
share my screen,
yes, you can.
or do you want to present it?
No, do it, do it.
Okay. Let's make it a little bit smaller just to see everything. So we starting from the roles, we thought that Paola and we can be facilitating the meeting so that Jörg, you can focus on providing the content, unless you have a different wish, and you, Anna, can focus on the visual sensing side. And we thought that we could have, so 2 days, the day 1 could be focusing on needs and worries, and day 2 could be focusing on resources, support, and going forth. So, for example, to say it in other words, day 1 is what is missing, what are the things that we need to look at to support parents. And day 2 is more about what is the interesting things that are already there. What can we learn from these different types of families that we can embed in our content? And we thought that we start with a mindful landing and a little explanation of the project. And Paola has this meditation tool that she will probably propose. And then an opening circle. So to get to know each other, we thought about opening it with a circle using the cards. So they already get in touch with this tool that we want to develop. And we could use the Mother Nature cards or another deck that I have. We can decide later about that. And here the focus would be, okay, the name, of course. What is their main focus, or because we are also presenting ourselves during this circle. And what do we expect from this meeting, maybe? And then we start working on the content, which is the needs and worries. So we thought we could do it initially in couples, having dialogues in couples, and maybe using the cards. I don't remember actually, Paola, why we said we use the cards here, but let's see. So the idea is that each couple, so maybe, for example, me and another person that is there, they have a dialogue, and during this dialogue, the aim is to come out with 3 needs, challenges, or worries that they see for parents in their specific fields. Yeah, the card was there, maybe because it can help to give a more intuitive answer. And then after this couple, we have this visual sensing presentation. So we explain a little bit more how Anna is working, and probably Anna, you can do that yourself, and that she will be painting during the meeting. So that we have then a circle, and we are here, where we harvest what came up from those dialogues in couples. And while we are doing this circle, Anna can be painting. So she's starting this work of visual sensing. When this circle is over, so here the idea is first they have this conversation in couples so that they can make up their minds and starting to dive into the topic, and then we go in the main circle so that we can build upon that after they already had a first, warming up. And then we have this 30 minutes integration time where we leave everyone free. And we have the visual sensing to be seen that was done during the first. This is just a proposal, of course. If it doesn't work, just we adjust it. But this is what we thought. So there is this 30 minutes where they can go around and see what Anna has been doing, and maybe also have a little, I don't know, break with fruit or something like that. And so that then we go in the closing circle and we gather the final feedback. We were asking during this integration time to do this resonance with the paintings, and also with what they have been discussing and hearing. The questions are, what do I see, what do I sense, what do I feel? So that in the closing circle, we gather the final insights. And the questions here would be, what is alive in you right now? What do you want to point out? What is missing? And maybe, Anna, you can be painting again here.
Sarah, just to say, like the blue part is part that I have added. I put it in blue,
Okay,
so
great.
that was clear that it's for me just to understand what, yeah, just so is the blue part is me
Here.
adding, like to clarify. Okay.
We had written here, you see, visual sensing on.
Yeah,
So
yeah. For this, I wanted to understand better what was for you, like on incense that was visible and people were relating with it, or that I was actually, but yeah.
Okay. Shall I go on to the next day, or do you want to
As you
ask
prefer,
questions?
like I could already have some things to yeah, ask or like share, but we could also do it at the end, as you prefer. Maybe let's do it at the end so that
Yeah.
maybe
Yes,
yeah,
I agree. So that we have the full picture of what we thought.
yeah,
And
yeah.
move on. Okay, so day 2, we start with a check-in round, quicker, of course, after this landing and meditation. And Paolo already has an idea for the meditation. And then we start with the visual sensing exploration, meaning that everything that has been painted the day before, we start from this exploration. And Anna, here the question is also, how do we facilitate this? And then we move towards these resources and support with the same structure that we used the previous day. So we start with these conversations in couples, and here the question is, what could help parents? What resources do you see this family already having that may be worth sharing and highlighting? We have a small break, and then we go to the bigger circle. And during the bigger circle, again, we have the visual sensing happening, painting. We have the integration time, just like the previous day, and a closing circle to wrap everything up. And that's it. So questions, feedback, things that you don't think will work. Let's finalize this together, or let's adjust it.
So if you want, I can start. For me, it's just clarifying what you thought, and then like I can start building up from that. So okay, so gathering needs and worries, I will start to paint here with the visual sensing, good. And then in the moment, in the part 9, so in the row 9, to integration time, I put because at the beginning I didn't know that it was like a kind of break, or the break is this you meant this integration time, you meant it like a break, so they are taking a pause. Everyone is doing a little bit what they want, because in this,
Not
because
exactly. Not exactly,
Okay.
Anna. The idea here is to say, when we do integration, the original idea is you paint, but we don't look at you when you paint. Because we are having the discussion and you are painting, yeah? So after the discussion is finished, we invite the people to look at your painting and to see what from the painting is coming to them. Yeah. Last meeting, you mentioned maybe they can put things with post-it or things like that. I don't know, or they put
Yeah.
cards or they add notes, whatever. Yeah. So it's just to say, how do they resonate? Maybe new idea coming or whatever is coming that they can bring it. And as this is an individual process to resonate with the painting, we thought we gave a bit longer space because some people are fast, some people are longer. And when people have done this, they can move to another space. I mean, the space is not so big, so they can move to another space and maybe they drink a cup of tea or they drink a coffee. So just that, because there is no break during the afternoon, so we thought, okay, maybe the moving also from one session to the others is smooth, and especially in this part they could have time for also having a little break.
Okay, good. So this is more an individual resonance. So maybe there could
Yes.
be a small part in which we introduce what is the resonance, and
Yes.
then everyone, like for example, is not going to be a journaling that we do all together. Is something that maybe they have some question, maybe already written on the post-it. It could be even just I see a sense like what you see, what I send. But maybe I can elaborate some more precise resonance question, and then they can stick it on the.
I mean, they don't have to stick it. I mean, they
Yeah, I
can
don't
do
think, because
journaling.
then later I'm going to paint again. So I think that maybe it's good if they do an individual journaling or something like this.
Yeah.
Why don't we ask them to write? I mean, I don't know, to write and not to stick, just leave the papers on the painting, and then Anna, you can move them if you
Yeah.
need. Or I don't know how, maybe somehow you integrate them in the painting, just because I think it's interesting if you have this quick connection on what other people are sensing. Because if I do individual journaling, I don't have a clue about what other people are sensing. But if I see a few words there, to me it would be interesting. But
Yeah, I also was thinking that maybe it could be interesting to put it in a way that maybe I will then integrate them. Yeah. Yeah, because yeah, we will continue the activity after this. Yeah, nice.
George, do you have anything that you want to share?
Well, in parts, I think it's for me, especially the visual sensing part is new. So I'm all interested and excited and see how things work. An interesting perspective, in my mindset, which at this point is, let's say, a bit from this in family therapy expert view. I'm interested in say, okay, picking a new card, an intuitive answer to what challenges will be a new process. I wouldn't know what to do, but it's interesting to see how things like that work. So with that, I can go along and say, yes, it makes sense from the flow of things including all kinds of new elements towards it. So will be exciting.
And Sarah, I think the cards are only for line 6, not for line 5. I think it was because we don't use the card for people to introduce themselves, but we use the card for the worries, yeah.
Really?
So if E5 actually is not with the cards, yeah.
Are you sure? I mean, I think we said we use the cards in the opening circle, but
Okay, we can look into it,
we
not
can
to
also
have it
split it
two
two
times the card, one next to the other, yeah.
Okay. And do you think this flow is effective to gather this content that we need? Or is there something missing?
I mean, one thing that we have anyway to take into account is that the gathering needs and worries is not just the painting, but we have also to write down these things or maybe to film it. I don't know. That could also be a possibility. So we have it also as documentation, yeah. So, and one thing's for sure that we have to say maybe a bit more is about all this documentation. There is already something in the info pack, but maybe we have to put it more. So if we have it, because I mean, when we write, so I have the feeling that when we are in a circle talking and somebody is writing on a flip chart, for me is a bit distracting, yeah, or impose the words of the writer to the others, yeah. And so maybe one of us will have the role to write these things down, but then if we film it as well, then we are not worried to miss something, you know.
Or maybe we record it,
Yes, exactly.
which is easier
Yeah.
in terms of technology. Yes.
So at the end of this day, we would like to have some keywords related to the topic needs and worries, right?
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
Okay. Yeah, because like this also the specific the visual resonance could be really like built around this. So to
Sorry, I'm not sure I understood your comment, Anna.
no, that's so the visual resonance will be really on writing down some keywords, like not say keywords, but some keywords around the needs and worries. So the specific word will represent that. So maybe one for needs and the other one for worries. So if we are searching for these keywords, right?
So, shall I say something or?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
for
For
me,
me,
this process, which is really about collective intelligence, is very tricky because then everyone can, if we say to people we are looking for keywords, then somehow people start to think, well, which keywords is better and so on. So to me, if we end up with keywords, we can have that back thought, but I wouldn't really ask people to do that to avoid having them go into a more analytic
of course.
path, mind path, and rather leave that burden to us later, maybe. But then if the group just flows there, then it's great. And we roll with that. But I wouldn't worry too much about already be very narrowing down, but I would stay in this wide investigation, collection of insights without the need already to make it more analytic. I don't know what you think about that.
I completely agree with you, and like the reason why I wanted to understand what is our final goal is to somehow create an activity that will help us to reach this final goal, but without saying it to the participants, like without saying we are looking for keywords, but to shape some question or understand what we are looking for, and then being broad so they are guided but not yeah. Oh, I think I understood.
Okay.
And then I will also share with you what I'm thinking of asking. So my vision of the activity now is we are asking some questions. People write down on a post-it on things. They put it on the visual sensing, and then I will see if integrating them, writing the words and integrate the word into the painting, or just I integrate it by feeling and integrate by translating the words into another image. So this is what is my idea for the moment. This time.
Yeah, well, I'm in my mindset, I have an idea of how dialogues in couples work, and we are trying to gather whatever is said here, needs, challenges, worries for parents in the specific field. So that makes sense. So then we kind of collect that in some written manner, and in the big gathering, this is presented. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So and the rest is all interesting and new. What's done on the visual sensing part with that. And then, yeah, for me, probably doesn't make a difference, but it's okay if it's not like the order for the dialogues is not collect keywords, but it's just the open exchange about bringing in ideas from each field. Yeah. Exactly, 2 dialogues, or yeah, if it's 3, then it's 3, and one has to narrow it. Otherwise, it would be just the collection of whatever we feel is important, and then that's the base of. In the end, we extract certain texts for categories and what so on. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm wondering whether during this closing circle, we want to open it with a harvesting of the previous circle, bringing in this kind of keywords, or we still leave it open? Because to me, it could be interesting, even if we have this risk of going too analytical. It could be interesting to open this final circle saying, okay, based on what we heard so far, this is what we harvested. In terms of visuals, you already saw it. In terms of, more analytical categories or themes, this is what we have. What do you think? What is alive in you right now based on this? What is missing also? Because maybe the question, what is missing, could help us identify something that is missing.
But for me, we are still on, as I can imagine the process, yes? So I look at the painting, I start putting words, I see other people putting words. So my thinking keeps moving, yeah? Because maybe the post-it of somebody else brings to me some other reflection that then I can do other, I can write another post-it, for instance, yeah? And for me, the closing circle is, we can call it harvesting, but for me it's not harvesting in the classical sense. For me it's still creating the picture. Yeah. So for me, it's they say, okay, now we had the integration time, and so okay, what else? How all this? So to go all the process we did, yeah. Maybe people say, oh, there is something else that just come to my mind now that I wasn't thinking before, and I think is not yet represented, yeah. So it's in my understanding, harvesting is more from what we have. Here, for me, we are still in with the possibility of enlarging the picture and completing the picture.
Okay.
Mhm. And I was thinking of this is also, I'm looking on the picture and say, oh, there are these or that similarities between the different family types, and oh, there are very specific worries that are very different, like making this type of connection and singularity in looking at the total of it. Yeah? Before it's one by one, the collection of the experts in their couples, and now it's the big picture of okay, yeah, some things run through all type of families, non-traditional, others are rather specific. That was something that I would like to see on that harvesting part. Yeah.
Okay, so this brings to me two questions from what you said, Jörg, is related to the line 6. How do we create couples, pairs for this work? For instance, do we put the men together, just to say, or people working with partners? Do we put, if there are two that are working with divorced families, we put them together, or we put them random, or we let them choose? Yeah. So because this, in a way, if we have, let's call it same typology of family together, uh, in the exchange in pairs, it's also a possibility really to go deeper and to bring all the worries, all the needs. And I may be thinking, okay, if we take, I don't know, divorced family and single parents, maybe what comes out is not so, because they are looking in a wider field instead of one smaller field. I don't know. Maybe we have to check also about the people that are there, how much we can combine. But my preference would be to have people, let's say affinity groups. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Paola,
Yeah.
sorry, I don't know what happened. I was like in and off for, I don't know, maybe you're frozen again.
No, we were just discussing
Karen,
if
Paola.
the gathering needs and worries one in pairs. So if possible, in similar typology of family, you know?
Yeah. I can see the point of if there are similarities or if they're close together, then we can put these people in couples so they can deepen theirs rather than collecting it twice on different ends. Yeah.
To
And
me,
then I was also wondering, related to this, if in the integration time, as people will have post-it, if we'll also have post-it of different colors for the different typology of families, or the of this is just a personal thing, as is not related to the type of family somehow I'm not fully representing, but I'm part of. Because then this would be easy also for us then to recognize, I don't know, oh, it's an orange post-it. Okay, this comes from a person with a background of divorced families. Or it's blue, it comes from single mothers or single parents. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm just wondering, maybe it gets too complicated, or if people have two things, maybe it's not complicated for us, but maybe for the people writing, say, oh my gosh, which color do I need to use?
Yeah. And it could also be that wherever we post it, there are these polls of the categories, and then we can even find out that, oh, this posted also concerns this, that comes like more in the middle because it's a general worry, or others are closer to their specific polls. Then we would need different colors, but we collect them for the different type of families on the pin board.
So sorry, Jörg, just to understand. So for you in this, when they put post-it on the on the painting, it's good to have different colors for the different types of family, or is not relevant?
I was more looking the localization, whether it's different types. The post-its would need to be different colors as long as I have a location, say, oh, this part is more this type of family, this region is more the other, but I don't know whether the visual sensing works that way.
I was off for, I think, maybe like 1 minute, no,
5 minutes.
30 seconds. I don't know if you noticed, like, I don't know, my internet went off. So,
Yeah.
So
we are discussing whether we should create couples of people that are expert on the same topics in the couple discussion, or leave it more open. And if we want already to collect inputs in writing with color coding them based on, for example, the field. And to me, actually, I would say I would leave things more open for two reasons. One reason is because reality is not that, how do you say, it's not that made of categories or boxes. Maybe someone is expert in this and that together, and it's difficult to say this belongs to that part, this belongs to this other. And also because I think it's interesting to see bridges between the different approaches or types of non-traditionality. And
I don't think, Sarah, this will not come out, yeah? So I'm just saying, I'm here as an expert for divorced families. So I write my reflection on a post-it that is orange. So then it's very visible on the visual sensing, or wherever you want to put it, that the orange has this background. Yeah. So if I talk from the perspective and they say, okay, this is typical, or this is something I've collected in my work with single parents, I write it in blue. So just to know the source. Yeah. Otherwise, we have this type of information, and maybe we need to ask, okay, which kind of family you are referring to, if we want then to see if there are similarities or not. Because otherwise, this is an extra round that we have to do afterwards.
Yeah, I understand what you mean, and I'm still thinking that I would be interested in a wider. To me, it wouldn't matter so much what is the source, but it's okay. We can do that.
We can leave it
I
a rest for now. And,
yes. No, what I want to say actually is this. I think that to my best meeting would be a good balance of very intellectual, cognitive, analytical things. And when you talk, you often go there. And also something that is more embodied and intuitive, or, based on other kind of thinking patterns. And we do have the visual sensing for that, but everything else in the agenda is more on the talking and analyzing, etc. So to me, my question before you were talking, Paola, would be, do we want to insert a little bit of more embodied activities, even something small like in the flow between one activity and the other, being a little bit in the body, because we are not doing anything except for the visual, something which is more Anna, and then how you resonate with it. To me, it could be a little bit more there, because I understand and I agree that it's important to have a lot of information specific. So single parents have these challenges, but to me, it would also be important to have a more wider, less analytical and more wide outcome.
Hmm.
Do you know?
And I
Do you
think
understand
my
what I
daughter
mean?
is.
Yes, Anna, go.
No.
Ti sentiamo, Anna?
Zen.
For me, I mean, the visual sensing is one element, but we have the meditation at the beginning. Yeah. And for me, the presentation of the visual sensing, in my understanding, is not just a cognitive presentation, is also inviting people to feel the essence of visual sensing. Yeah. So for me, in my understanding, this presentation is also a bit an embodiment, has embodiment elements in it.
Mm-hmm.
I can write it down so we don't. And I think if we have this in the back of our mind, then when we feel, we can take this in, yeah? So if we think that we are flying high to theoretical to conceptual and we feel disconnected, then we can bring people back. I say, okay, a lot of discussion. Let's take a moment to let these things settle down a little bit. I think if we have this in the back of our mind, it's up to us when we feel the need to make this 1 minute break to let deposit the things.
So, sorry, I think that now and also my daughter will join, and then let's see how I will be able to navigate this. But I wanted to say that regarding the post-it, I think that we can color code it, but once I start again to paint on the bigger painting, I will integrate them somehow. So or I will have to see. I will have to imagine it. Or I will remove them and integrate the message, or I will write what is written on it, but take out the post-it, something like this. And so it will be anyway. It will be integrated. And also, like regarding the in the last circle, I was thinking that we could do or at the end, or the visual resonance is looking at the painting. I see, I sense, I feel. This exercise, this practice, we could do it really at the end, and also we could add a little embodied practice. And I was already thinking about it, and I wanted to propose it, like also to, if they want, they can resonate with the image also with a gesture. And if you like this kind of practice, we could do it at the beginning of the circle instead of at the end.
Which
this
circle,
is
Anna?
the last circle, the closing circle, sorry, row 10. So visual resonance sharing, looking at the painting, I see, I sense, I feel. This I would do it in the closing circle, like because in the integration time, this would be more a kind of individual time, the individual question. And if we want, we can to go again into the more sensing space. We could ask something like this in the closing circle. And if we think that there is no time for a longer sharing, we can just also invite to share a gesture that connects with the painting.
To open the closing circle. You are proposing it as an activity to open the closing circle.
I'm proposing it at the beginning before you spoke. I was proposing it as an activity to close everything.
Okay.
But as you're saying that you would prefer, like you would not prefer, you are sensing that maybe it's missing some more embodied practice, and I'm suggesting that maybe this could be a practice that we could put at the opening of the closing circle. I'm just proposing it.
Yeah, could be interesting. Okay.
And I would just comment, I feel just showing the source or seems to make a lot of sense, because that's not involving the process. So the process can be as analytical or as intuitive as everybody can do, but having sort of the background source of the posting from the expert would make sense, whether we do it in colors or in noting it, because I think it's valuable for then making an array of things later on, yeah, to see where these worries were located, where they come from, and then see where they are going to. And I think that either it's color or just name doesn't inflict the process of how the person gets to what they post there. But I think it's a valuable additional information that we can use later on in making groups of needs, worries, resources.
Yeah.
That was the intention, yeah, to get the source. And yeah, maybe if they write it is even better, because then if people get confused with the color, then the system doesn't work.
Also, because if you write, you can add two sources, because when I do this coding, clustering,
that's fine.
It's always the question, well, but that one can be here and can be there, and I don't want to lose time deciding whether it's belongs more here or belongs more there, because it clearly belongs to both. So if we just gather two or three, different, and we don't lose time in this clustering fatigue, let's call it. If you agree.
Okay, I change it in this way, so it's fine.
Scusa, Sera, sto cercando di mettermi. Okay, do we want to say something about the next day? Which is actually the same, or almost.
Hello. Vuoi salutare? Vai, saluta. Hello. Non so se ti sentono. So here, this visual sensing exploration activity, I was trying to understand what was your vision on that, because then I was thinking maybe some more like some more not complex, but some more like longer exercise or activity related with the image, even that they can they can connect with a part of the image that they feel that feels for them related with the challenge, and then sketch it, and then try to like also connect with words related with that, and try to go from the challenge, helped by the image, the visual sensing, and their interpretation of the image, to go from the challenge to the opportunity. But I can also write you down what I was thinking more about this activity. But maybe also hearing from you. If you tell me a little bit more what you were envisioning for this, maybe I can also understand it a bit better.
Okay, maybe it's also important to say how is the meditation that I was thinking of. So it's a meditation that is basically inviting people to recognize everything or many things that they already have, in sense of that brings them safety. Yeah. So basically the aim is, okay, I'm safe because of this and this and this and this in my life. Then the second is I'm successful. The second part, because I have achieved this, I'm able to do this, and so and so and so. And the third part, I'm connected because I have a family, I have a friend, I have a dog, I'm connected to nature. So all these things, yeah. So I bring a little bit the intention with this meditation at the beginning of the day was exactly to move the attention from that in the day before. They say, okay, I have this problem, I have this worry, this doesn't work, to say, okay, but there is also a stable a stable foundation for us. Yeah. So with this intention also, that's the intention. With this intention, we go into the working day. Yeah. So I would not repeat the process with another exercise if we go for this meditation. Otherwise, we have to we do just a simple landing meditation, and then we do something else that help for the switch. Yeah.
No, okay. For me, it's completely fine, Paula, but it was just like when I was trying to imagine how like better integrate and how to better use the visual sensing. I saw visual sensing exploration activity, whether in the other in the other days not with the exploration activity. So I thought that you here I thought that you would have liked something more to an activity more related with working with visual sensing, how to transforming challenge into opportunities that we could do. But is so you say that also here I will be painting during the sharing. That is also super. This is super fine for me, and is also okay.
To me, I'm just thinking that if I understand well how your meditation works, Paula, do you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
But we don't see you. That's
okay. Yeah. This meditation is more personal or not?
Yes.
Yeah.
So here the exploration could be, okay, we did that personally, and now we go into what we have harvested from the previous day about parents, not about yourself, or maybe it's also about yourself for some of them. But I don't know if you want to force that transforming challenges into opportunities. For example, I'm thinking about I feel lonely. Parents feel lonely when they have this specific non-traditional family. So how loneliness can be the trampoline for building something new. So it's this here the focus for me is parents, while here the focus is more personal. So I wonder if it's still interesting to go here and do this exploration in that terms, or maybe not. I'm just, I don't know,
But
wondering.
want to explain to me again what exploration means? Are we working on the already done painting and feeling into that, or is it a new activity?
Jörg, this is a great question. So I was also wondering what exploration meant, and so what I've imagined is technically what can happen is just to work on the one that's not that no, but I was thinking to work on the one that I've done the day before. Even if like I have 45 minutes, I think because here I would not be really able to make another one in the first, for I don't know,
But
a
maybe,
relevant one.
sorry, maybe it
Yeah.
could also be, I mean, it was not my thinking before, it's just now from what has been said, yeah. Maybe it could be just one simple activity that invites people to change the perspective, yeah. So maybe it is visual sensing or visual representation could be just that everybody has a brush and a piece of paper and they say just make a few lines or few points, whatever, that for you represent one worry that came out yesterday, and maybe we divide the worry. Yeah, you make one, and then you say, okay, just do a little things that invites you to move from the worry to a resource. So something that involves them somehow in changing, in switching the perspective. So it's not something that you have to do, technically speaking, Anna, but it's something that invite this idea of sense in your body. I don't know, one worry could be loneliness. Okay. And now with the painting, just make something spontaneously that for you is representing or is expressing what you feel now in relation to the worry. And then you say, okay, take a break on this, and then maybe take another color, yeah, and say, okay, how can I now move, and or what are the resources or the hidden advantages of this worry, yeah, or what is the good message behind this worry, and then I paint it with another color, I do something else. So it's not important the result of the painting, but the painting is just a way to help them to make this swap.
Yeah, Paul, I think it's very interesting and is more what I do during my workshop, and it's okay. We can do. I was thinking to do something a little bit like this to make them draw a little bit, but if we have the possibility to use a paintbrush and a bigger paper, like if the space I think allow us to do that. It might take a little bit more than 30 minutes to go in this space and because then maybe it will be nice to also do a little journaling about what they have done or a little sharing, because often when you then paint, it's quite strong like if you leave it there. But we can also just do it in 30 minutes if we want. But I think that could be very nice actually to do a small hands-on activity if you think that all the participants will be open to it.
To me, that would be very interesting. And I'm thinking about the stack exercise, the social presence in stack exercise. When you first connect to that stack and these worries, we can think that they are stacks. And then you transform that into something that can help you move from that stack and move on. I was thinking about something in this kind of flow. It doesn't need to be that. It can be a different activities, but maybe the aim could be similar. You resonate with the stack, but then you move to how do I move forward from this stack, and this can set the energy for the rest of the morning. Do you? Yes.
No, Sarah, I like it super a lot. Like, I mean, what could be this is like if Paola wants to lead a stack, I can paint during the people that they are doing the stack, and then we can do in that moment or at the end a little resonance. I've done it many times to paint during SPT practice, and it's quite strong. What then you resonate also with the image. So this could be another great idea.
The only issue is that for the stack to really function, you need a bit of preparation work. Yeah. So, yeah, but I mean, we cannot go directly into the stack because people need to practice a bit before what does it mean to feel into the body, to sense into the body, and then to let the body make a shape. Yeah. But we can take this in. It's an interesting experiment anyway. Yeah. And then with the idea, they don't need to say what the stack they choose. And anyway, the stack is not then when we move from statue 1 to sculpture 2, is not that we find a solution, but it's important that we feel the direction we are moving, or what is from this stack opening up. It's fine. For me, both are possible.
I would like to be the guardian of the time and say, okay, if we go for 30 minutes for that transition, let's limit it to the 30 minutes, because I feel the content raising afterwards is rather tightly timed. Yeah, there's not a lot of time for doing the couple work and then gathering the couples and integrating it and closing. Yeah, so that's a very tight level of 2.5 hours.
Maybe what we could do is, like, if there is this stack, the meditation at the beginning, I don't know, Paola, if you can like put them together, like the meditation, like make the meditation also be related with so maybe the initial meditation, make it 10 minutes, and then the stack with the painting, we can make it 40. But yeah, I think that could be quite strong what it comes from something like this. But Paola, how do you feel about it?
I think I want to give it a second thought to it. So maybe we don't, it's clear what we want in this moment. Yeah. And okay, I will think about it once again. Maybe now we go on, because we have also other topics to discuss. Yeah. So it's clear either one or the other, and I will give a thought to it. So, but just to sense, what is your preference? So is your preference something with the body or something with painting?
For me, I was thinking maybe we can change the flow like this if we go to the stack exercise, so have a full hour here to do preparation, stack, and also maybe Anna painting. And we skip the dialogue in couples and we go directly to the sharing in the whole circle. And so that we don't need to rush because maybe then the stack exercise kind of works towards what would came out from the dialogue in pairs, which for me is important because helps. I mean, having the dialogue in pairs for me, the meaning is to let people start warming up. So we warm up with this stack exercise. And for me, I would leave it open and we decide at the end of day one, we decide whether we go for the more the first idea or we move towards the second idea. We could also decide it there, sensing and feeling the group and seeing whether is the group of because I really like how that embodied work works, but if people are not open to it, then maybe it's a little bit pointless to do it. So maybe we need to first meet them and see whether it would work and decide later. So to me, I would be comfortable also with leaving it open.
But the only okay, we can also leave it open. The only thing that I'm then if we don't do the stack exercise plus me painting, the other option will be to let them do a painting session. That also it's like visual sensing painting session is quite embodied. So there will be a little bit could be even more challenge because they have the painting, they have to move their body and painting. I can also do it a little bit more. Okay, we can. I think let's leave it open for the moment, and we can talk again about it, and also propose.
What I hear is that in both cases we need more time for that activity there. Is that correct? Even if we go to the painting activity, 30 minutes is not enough. We need a little bit maybe of the breathing at the end or.
For me, at this point, 1 hour, it's okay. If the activity is just 30 minutes, I would have had a proposal also for that. But that was more like more less embodied, very less embodied. Because when you go in the body, you need to. I agree with Paola. You need to them to prepare the people a little bit more.
For me, one element is also that, I mean, I find that to work in pairs, it helps warming up, as well about the topic. I'm a bit afraid that if we go directly into the big group, maybe we need a bit more steering and to have maybe a more clear formulation of the question from needs to and worries to resources. So in general, I think we need a more clear question in this point to help the people to say, okay, now I know what I need to say. So regardless of the two, if we go for version 1 or version 2, for me, this part needs to be clarified. What are we really looking forward when we talk about resources and support?
Maybe like, what do we want from this activity here in general? Like, what do we want to take from this activity?
Well, for me, I think also here it's I would link this question to the to what we are producing in the project, yeah. So we do this exploration because we would like to produce cards, yeah. So this is a concrete outcome out of this collection, yeah. So this is a resource. So for me, it's more what should be the content of this resource, or how can people benefit from these resources, yeah. Because this could be an indication for us on how to structure the card, on how to have a more clear vision. But I think this question needs to be linked to our final product. So in a way, I say, okay, we are in a process, people have this problem, what could be a resource? Yeah, okay, if I'm a coach, I say, okay, coaching session. If I'm a therapeutic session could be the answer, yeah? But we are looking for another type of answer. What are the specificity of the support? Yeah.
Yeah, and so I think it's quite complex what all we need to do in that second, I would say, more content part, because then I can see the couple work and then the sharing. And now suggestions would be for, again, I'd like to be the guardian of the time. I wouldn't want to go more into the preparation than these 1 hour 15 for the landing and the coming in and the warming up, and also the sensitivity and the embodiment. And maybe it wouldn't need to be 2 or 3 different elements, but rather one that is leading into each other. Like maybe on the second day, it doesn't need a lengthy check-in round in that sense, but it could be the landing meditation, including the self-check-in, like we do in the breathing space, and then go into the embodiment of resources and have all of that done in these 75 minutes. And then presenting it. So I wouldn't really need to have, or looking at the time, I wouldn't really need to share my landing in that sense, but rather than afterwards in the content of the resources. I don't know whether I'm talking clear, but I would kind of save these 25 minutes and integrate them in the embodied landing of how am I landing? How am I here? And then I get the impulse, whether it's through painting or through stuck or any other, to do the transformation of challenges to.
Scusate, sorry.
So maybe it's a different meditation, and it goes more time into the painting, or maybe it's the meditation that leads the process of being here and embodying, and then we need a bit less afterwards, but it should be able.
So, Jörg, you mean, for example, having this check-in round and the meditation as one thing that takes less than 45 minutes altogether? Is this what you're saying?
Yeah, especially if we want to have more time for the process of either through visual painting or the other embodiment, and trying to land in a different way than these 45 minutes. Yeah. And if we need more time for that part of embodiment, then maybe it's a different landing meditation that's just short and giving the presence, and maybe the sharing is just like the weather report, a very short round for coming together and not the 25 minutes. Or the other way around, all the meditating has the lead, and then the other part is shorter. I just saw it ending up for at least 1.5 hours or more if you wanted to have an hour rather than 30 minutes. So then that's all getting close to 2 hours landing versus then the complexity of all the content work. But it's just an opinion.
Yeah. What about putting the more embodied or like sensing exercise later in the day? So, like there is the landing and the meditation, and then we start with the content, and then again we do another part going back to our body, because maybe and so, for example, if I'm doing an exercise with visual sensing, I can work on the new visual sensing that I've done, not on the one of the day before, for example. Like this is a proposal, because if we do the landing and meditation, if we do the longer landing and meditation at the beginning, then yeah, understood. We can use that to go into the body. Maybe.
Okay. So we have different opportunities. I don't know whether we want to leave it now and then maybe we can go back to it when we meet. Or
what is important, sorry, Sarah, to understand now is really to clarify the question, yeah? From needs and worries to resources and support, really to have a more clear question for them to work on. So for me here, it's important to have an introduction and to say, okay, this question is, or to remind, this question is framed within our project that has the intention to create cards. And therefore, when we talk about resources and support, we are talking in a way, what is the element or the qualities also that these cards need to have, or these tools needs to have in order to be a resource and a support for the parents that have the worries that we have identified yesterday.
To me, a question could also be what is already there as a resource for parents that maybe they don't see completely, so that they can connect to what they already have to support themselves, and how this group work, peer support can help even more to move beyond the challenges.
I'm not sure I understood this last point, Sarah.
From what I understand from you, Paola, your focus would be how can these cards and tools that we are creating be supportive to parents. And I think this is interesting, and I would keep it, and I would add to it a question about how can we help parents, how can we help parents to see what they already have as resource, and how can we help parents to see how this specific challenge that they live being a non-traditional family in different way already has resources in it that already seeing them is a way to support. But we don't need to provide anything. We all only need to help those to be seen. So I can imagine that having a card about that helps you to see what you already have. Maybe you can make a concrete example. For example, being a queer family means that I have a very deep, probably, maybe, relationship with diversity and a higher awareness about what be diverse mean and navigating diversity is, and I can use that awareness to inform my parenting journey, but also other side of my life. And this is a resource that I have just been there. And maybe I don't see it because I'm focused on how hard it is to be diverse, but then I'm also training myself, just being what I am. And to me, it's valuable to support people in seeing how this is a resource.
Okay, so in other words, is being in the situation I am, which kind of competencies and qualities this situation helps me to develop in spite of the difficulties or because of these difficulties. So, yeah. Yeah, I think this is a relevant.
Sorry, I have to say that I was not fully present. Like my daughter was talking all the time, so I was not. So I now I'll try to catch up, but I have to say that.
And as Sarah said, it's an add-on, or it's both, or even more perspectives. It's not one or the other.
Yes. We can have more questions for this part. Yeah.
I think it's focusing that we collect not only the warrants and challenges, but the resources, either how to deal with them or the shift of the mindset, what resources are in the challenges. Yeah, if I take that foster not foster but patchwork family thing, for me, in a card could contain, yes, there are plenty of challenges in how am I taking seriously and what's the role of a step parent, but then on the resource part could be, okay, how about you call it bonus parent and focus on what additional comes into the family setting, that there's a new person bringing in new resources and new ideas, and let loose of fitting him into the traditional expectations. So that could be part of the card that is helpful for that. Yes, yeah, let loose of or let go of some of the old patterns and help you shift the mindsets to here's a bonus parent in that's bringing in more, yeah, and not mainly bringing worries. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I think now it's more clear.
It's more clear. So personally, I will need to leave at 11:15 because I need to. My son is at home as well. So I have 10 more minutes. So, but you can, of course, you can stay. I wonder whether we want to leave this and we are happy with that. I think we are all pretty experienced as facilitators, so we can be also going with what we have and finalizing it there if you are comfortable with that. Or maybe if you prefer to have more clarity, I don't know if you can organize another meeting, or if we have another meeting before. I don't think we do.
Okay, we meet anyway on Saturday evening. Of course, is for us for getting together and so and so. But and then we have Sunday morning to finalize, to organize the space and all these things. Yeah. So we can go to the venue already on Sunday morning and set it up, organize, finalize, and everything.
Yeah.
So I think it could be like that. There is only one, yeah, and I have the dates of everybody. So I will technically connect once again with the expert, as I have the emails of everybody. I've been already in touch with everybody just to ask everything is okay. We are meeting. So just to mention that the meeting is coming up with if they need have any diet requirement that we need to take into account. Otherwise, we are set for this. Maybe just, I was wondering for Sunday evening, if the preference, if people are staying just one day, if we want to go to a quiet place along the Danube or we want to be in the city in the mess. I think for the sake of the project, a quiet place, maybe it functions better, but I don't know. That I'm open to the two, but I need to book. Otherwise, we don't find a place. Absolutely. I need to book. So if you have preference, what would feel better for you, for the flow, for...
For me, a quiet place is okay.
Yeah, a more relaxed place. Okay, so I will go for it. Good.
Yeah, I agree.
Shall we do anything quick on the platform thing while Sarah is still here? I mean,
Yep.
one could log in, or you have questions before that. Would we want to have him right away for any other questions? Are there planning or strategic questions before? Because I think it was still open of would it work out that way, and is that the path to go, or do we need different solutions? So whatever.
Are you already talking about the platform?
Yeah. And whether we need him right now or a bit later. But Sarah's time is limited. It's running on.
And I also have my daughter like sick, and so like I think like 11:15 will also work very good for me actually today.
Okay, so in the preparation also of the impact and the timetable of all the project, and a bit also last time came out this question about to cut and to have very clear what are all the steps for the platform and who is in charge of what. So I can share the screen. Where is it? Here maybe. Yes, I can share the screen about it. So, yes. This is the last, yes. So we were just discussing your, I'm just taking now this part, yeah, for, no, where is it? Here, platform development, sorry. So we said, okay, one thing is the code, coding the website. But then there are other elements, yeah? So maybe we start from another side. We have a concept, and the concept belongs to us. We worked last time, 2 times ago, about the concept, okay? Then there is a visual identity of the project for the card that becomes also the visual identity for for the website. But then we need, before the coding, we need somebody that creates the graphic design of the website, and then there is the coding. Yeah. And so the question was, who is doing all these things? And specifically in this moment, who is doing the graphic design of the website before doing the coding? And so the question is, at least from what we understood last time from Johannes, that is not really into doing the graphic design because he's a coding person. Yeah. So now the question is Johannes usually working with somebody that has the graphic parts of when he creates a website, or do we need to find somebody else that does the graphic design of the website with all the information so Johannes can do the coding? So that was the question in preparing the project.
And whether it fits within the budget that we had.
Yeah, and then of course this is the other question. Yeah. How can we fit this into the budget? Yeah.
Because I think what we shared is that we need a third person, another person that has the specific competencies of creating the graphic design dress to what Johannes is working on, which cannot be one of us. So maybe this is a question for him, whether he has this person he normally works with.
Yeah, I can ask him, and also then raising the question of the budget.
Yeah.
The area. Is it just the add-on, or is that to be included in the up to now budget platform design? Yeah.
It's included.
It's included, yes, but is it included? I mean, did anybody do a checkup whether any person in this world would do that for this budget, including graphic design?
No, actually we didn't, because the first check was with Johannes. Yeah. So, I mean, if Johannes says it's impossible, we have to rethink. No,
Yeah.
so there is no plan B at the moment. Yeah. So there is only the plan A to ask Johannes, and see, because different reasons. Yeah. So, and now that's why we want to have a feedback from Johannes. And I really appreciated that he was making some prototype. But for me, it's very difficult. I'm not an architect. So for me, it's very difficult to really understand. So with just these little things, to understand the potential of it. Yeah. So I need to, but this is a competence, a quality I don't have. So I don't know if there is something also to say about what he produced and send it to us. In my understanding, this is the solution that then we can update, so we can put the text. So it's the easiest solution for maintenance. I understood from that. Yeah. Good.
Yeah, or for the functionality of cards that can be turned and added on and shifted and whatever, put into groups as a way of the background software control, not in terms of graphic design or how that is sort of integrated in the graphic design of a platform or of a website. Yeah. I think it was just trying and showing that HTML would be sufficient for some of the functionalities that were needed. Yeah.
And for me, the fact that it's possible is of a relief, because this was the big question, yeah? If we have to go into very specialized software, then we don't have the capacity to do the maintenance. But with this solution, then we can do the maintenance, we can replicate easily. So we can be in control of the content without, and this is a great plus. I don't know what is the feeling of the others.
And I guess the question is any of us giving some framing of what the graphic design buildup of the website is supposed to be, because then the graphic designer is the one trying to put that together. But she also needs a framework of what we expect. Yeah. Color-wise, photo integration, yeah, setup of looks. So at least that's what I would say, rather than not being in that field either. Either I need someone who is saying, please make me 3 suggestions, yeah, in a different way, but I still need to give the framework. Yeah, do I want to have it very paper-like, or do I want to have it very, very, yeah, exuberant in graphics, or some of that? So I guess that still is our decision.
Yeah.
Or combining Sarah's expertise and Anna's into what is an appropriate framework around the cards being the main subject. And as long as we keep it rather simple, I think then that's probably easier to organize the programming and the background software alongside with the graphic design, versus is it to be very elaborate in a certain way. But in my mind, it doesn't need to be, because I guess the cards are the main player on the website, yeah, rather than the surroundings. But I don't know what the expectations of the group here are for that. But I can transfer that question and say, okay, is there anybody able to do basics on color rise, fonts, and what so on? But still, I would expect that we need to give some hints and framework on that beforehand. Yeah.
Yeah, so we have also to say that anyway, the color, the font, all these things we need for the card. So Anna will do it, yeah. And of course, if the card have a certain style, the website needs to have a style that goes with it, yeah. So this information we will have it. So it's just this extra step, how the layout of the pages can look like, because there is not only the cards, there is also part with text. And maybe we still need to make more clear what other type of pages we need.
Yeah.
So we need to define more clearly what are all the elements that needs to be on this platform.
I guess so, yeah. And the functionality, what we had, cards and short text, but long text behind, and that given, yeah.
Yeah, so I think now maybe as it's time also to go for more, we can say that we have 2 type of work to do. One is to check if Johannes is working with a graphic design and to check for the budget. And on the other side, we need to set up a document where we have all the functionality that we want to have on the platform. Yeah. And but this we can do after the meeting in Vienna, because I think before the meeting in Vienna is not feasible to work on this, yeah. But at least to have these 2 elements.
Do you have the link to that document where all these steps were placed, or say in which folder it is?
Wait a second, I'm just checking.
I guess that's helpful to forward.
Yeah.
Alongside with that.
It's linked in the minutes as well, if you want to quickly
Okay,
open it.
good.
Sorry, I'm on the bike right now, so quick messaging.
Yes. Where is it? I'm just checking. Here.
So where is it
I
linked?
can put it in the WhatsApp chat here, so you have it.
Okay.
Because then when we finish this meeting, the minutes are gone. Okay, here is. But it's just, it was just the first step. We
Yeah,
need to finalize this step. Mhm. Okay. Whew. Okay, so Sarah is already on the bike. It's an e-bike, thanks God, so you can.
Mhm.
And yeah, here you are.
Nice.
And yeah, well, for me, we can close it here for the moment, yeah.
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 And there is this big topic of the monitoring. We have to, okay, look into it once again, yeah. Mm.
And we didn't have the agenda for that last day or for the after day when what we are rehearsing when once the expert leaves the day everybody's leaving in the evening. When I checked on trains, it's like the very latest is 3:15. Then I'm ending up at midnight plus 30 minutes by car. Otherwise, it's 2:30. Then I'm there a quarter to 10:45 plus 30 minutes. And anything later doesn't make sense, or it's somewhere well beyond midnight or even the next morning. So that depends on what our agenda is of all what we have to do on the day after. Whether it's feasible, I'm happy to leave earlier on that and then save a day, but otherwise it needs to stick to the old program now. So that's what I didn't pick any trains at 6 o'clock because they don't bring me home with 8-9 hours.
Okay, so well, basically what we have to do is to collect all this material and to see how can we move forward with this. Yeah, so it's really harvesting for us and planning the next step with more clarity, because if we want to start the parents groups circles in May, then or in June, we have to produce quite some material in order to make them possible. Yeah. So in a way, it's this is the main aim. Yeah. So for the train, I would leave the choice to you, Jörg. Feel it, sense into it, and see what really does the best for you.
Yeah, if it's okay for our general after meeting and after work, that I leave a bit earlier than the rest, then that's fine. Then I'm happy to change it. And also I had a refundable or a partially refundable ticket, so cost wise it wouldn't be all that issue. Yeah. And I would pick a train on the same day everybody's leaving rather than the day after. Yeah. Okay, I can do that later.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I have the feeling that this will serve you better.
Yeah, that's definitely the whole day. Yeah. And
Yeah.
then once everybody, I mean, an evening in Vienna might be nice, but not at this certain time. I'd probably not enjoy it. Okay. Yeah. Thank you for that.
Can I just
Yeah.
quickly ask, how much time do we have after they left for just for us? So we will have 2 half days, right?
Yes.
And we plan to work on the content And maybe we can start, if you agree, it would be, I don't know, let's say, but it could be useful to have also 1 hour about organizing the work and the monitoring and so on, if we manage. That can be done also online actually, but if we are not too tight, then maybe it's good to have a good preparation of the whole year, the whole working year.
Okay. Good then. That's also how we want to use the evening. Okay.
Ciao.
Thank you.
And see you
Thank
soon.
you.
Ciao. Thank you. Ciao, ciao.
See you soon. And don't forget to send me your preferences if you have difficulties on eating something and so we can take this into account.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Super.
Bye
Ciao.
bye.
Ciao, ciao, ciao.
Bye.
Bye.